You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
I want to talk about news, don't want the drama. From no pretentious media Madonna. I found me a great ganja mama. Cannabis and coffee with Tamarijuana.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cannabis and Coffee with me. It is dark in here. I forgot to turn my light on. Hang on a second. We better do that because it's kind of like I'm a little bit in the dark. Hang on a second. How do I do this? Of course, it's got to be back here and causing me grief. Of course, it's always got to be that kind of a morning, right? Let's see here. All right, we're going to go like that. No, we're going to go like that. That should be better. That's better. All right, at least you can see me. So first of all, I'd like to do land acknowledgement that I sit on the unceded territory of the Tanaha people, which are accumulation of 4 different bands, which is Akum, Tanaha, Lower Plains, and Tobacco Plains. Again, it's the 3rd anniversary of the Ukrainian, or the war in Ukraine. As you know, my friend and I started the Shelter for the Ukraine Society. Basically, on that day, we started our first vigil. So today I am wearing our traditional Ukraine shirt that was gifted to me by the Ukrainians that we brought to Cranbrook, and I'm honoring them today. So the show is sponsored or in honor of my friends from Ukraine. They actually used cannabis a lot when they got here. I actually did consultations with them and taught them how to make and infuse coconut oils and butters and make tinctures, because the anxiety when they got here for some of them was overwhelming. Just living through the trauma of being bombed. My one friend's mother, who was a senior, who's actually gone back to Lucha because she just did not like being away from home. And that's something I think that most people don't understand. They did not want to leave Ukraine. They came unwillingly and begrudgingly for safety. Why we sheltered them? Because there's a war. So for anybody who's feeling begrudgingly about having them come here, you should really check your humanity. Anyways, let's spark this and see if we can't find some cannabis to talk about. Like anything else of the day, right? Because that's what the show is all about, is coffee and cannabis. And I do actually have coffee this morning. Well, a little bit left anyway. And I'm running out of cannabis too, because anything that's been sent to me basically goes to the program, right? So I don't participate or I don't use anything that's sent for the program. And my producer nicely sent a little extra in for me, but it's been gone for days. So here we are, smoking roaches. Thank God for roaches. I know there was actually an argument at one point in time about roaches being beneficial, or if roaches should, have anything to do, are they, should, let's put it this way, they're decarbed because you're pushing, the heat through all the way in. So you got decarbed. You can use them, take the papers off them, and use them to make butter, because then you got decarbonization. I don't know. I use them because I need to have something. It's my medicine. So when I'm out, it's difficult, but I get through. I've got some vape pens and stuff. I'll make it through like Katie's, Friday. Not that that's going to make any difference, but we'll make it through. We always do, right? But again, the CSPs, We haven't been going on to the site because of the frigid weather's -22. Now our weather's warming up, so I plan on going out this week. But again, I need volunteers, right? And because I can't go out there by myself. My husband just will not allow that. I mean, Taven and I have gone out a couple times by ourselves. He's not a fan of that either. So we'll see what happens. But I am helping people off site to the tune of I'm up to 30 now. I was at 24ish. Now I'm up to 30. And I take bags to work with me on a daily, in case somebody pops in or they make arrangements to come pick up from me. I do that a lot. So even though and I'm finding that there's more people that struggle with addiction than you think. And I know that the BC government has been changing the decriminalization stances and everything with the harder drugs. Now, you have to actually consume your safe supply at the pharmacy. You can no longer take it home with you, which I find to be better. And I'll tell you why. Because in the last 4 years of this toxic, well, it's been 10 years of this toxic drug crisis, but in the last 4 years, they have found more people using and dying alone at home. Working people, people that go to work every single day, that take care of children, that struggle with either alcoholism or drug addiction. And they're dying at home alone because they don't use the safe injections. We don't have one here anyway, or they're not using safe supply, or they're not houseless and on the street or living in an encampment. So we have lost so many people that we don't even really realize were toxic drug overdoses for the fact that they are working poor. And that's it, they're working poor. Um, I don't make minimum wage, but I'll tell you, it's not enough to live on. If I didn't have my husband's wage to subsidize our family, Taven and I would be living in poverty, very poorly. Like I wouldn't have a car. I'd be using the food bank. I wouldn't be able to afford my medicine at all. We would have no benefits. So that means the bottle of eczema cream that or dermatitis cream at the hospital that's still sitting there that I can't afford because it's not covered by my benefits through my husband's work is still sitting at the pharmacy at the hospital. And the one that we had to pay $236 for after benefits, that's half my paycheck. I could not imagine anybody having to it's tough enough as it is with the prices and the inflation rates and everything, but I couldn't imagine any single parent what you have to go through. Never mind if you're struggling with addiction or you can't afford your medicine. And that's where the CSP steps in. So my mandate has been for, houseless addicted, but in reality, my mandate's for anybody struggling. Even if you're a patient and can't afford it. And I think that's where I think I'm going to take this mandate is not just substitution, but for low income people that can't afford their medicine. Because there are so many out there that go without, including myself, and I'm not considered low income, and this would by no stretch be for me either. But there are so many people out there that struggle with trying to get their medical cannabis, right? Like even if you're not licensed, even if you don't have the paperwork, cannabis is medicinal no matter how you look at it. Like if it's helping you eat, if it's helping you sleep, if it's helping you get through a day from anxiety. The world's not a really friendly place right now. And I think we're all struggling with a bit of grief. I don't know how else to put it. Grieving everything that we know. So, wars and stress of finances. Everybody in Canada is financially strapped right now. I don't care who you are, unless you're a realtor. But everybody's strapped, right? No matter how much money you make, the more you make, the more you spend, and the higher the bills are, right? But to be fair, my gas bill alone is $460 a month, right? So that being said, if you can't even afford your gas bill or your light bill, how can you afford medicine? So the mandate for CSP is going to expand into helping low-income people too that struggle, that are patients, or if you're not. So I'm not going to ask for income levels, but I know who you are. I know who the ones are that come into my store that I help, ones on disabilities, the ones that are struggling with change to get a pop for their kid. I know. So you don't have to be ashamed to come and talk to me. That's out there. Like, and it's all confidential. I will never tell anybody that you're a client. And that's the best part about this whole thing is I will never tell anybody anything. And I'm so proud of my few that are doing the program and using cannabis rather than fentanyl or rather than meth or rather than the safe supply, right? Because that's a thing. People that are using safe supply are given Dilaudid. They're doing usually 8 milligrams of Dilaudid. Then they take it home and they do whatever. They can orally take it. They can inject it. I guess I'm not. I'm anyway. Um. So as much as I know that the pharmacies are overworked and underpaid, I know you are. I know. I see you too. Um. I think this is better. It'll stop ODs at home with no stats on how many people are actually dying of overdoses at home alone. I know there's the safe, safe user app, but I mean, if you're ODing, are you able to push that "I need help" button? I, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine the ability to do that. So again, I'm not a fan of, but I now keep saying this. Decriminalization was never the answer. Legalization is the only answer. Manufacturing right from the get-go, like we did with cannabis, you set up licensed production sites, you start manufacturing, you start testing, you put limits on it, age behind the doors, put them behind barred fucking, I don't care. Put security guards out in front of the fucking places. Fucking bulletproof vest the fucking workers. I don't care. Put it behind glass and off the streets and away from the fucking people that use it to kill people. Use it as a commodity. Like you don't hear, the weed dealers, we're done. We've been done for 5 years, right? And I was compassionate. I was only patience, but it doesn't matter. The weed dealers are done. The illegal growers aren't working anymore. They've had to go get jobs or get into the legal market, right? Because cannabis is no longer a $3,000 a pound commodity. It's gone down substantially, which isn't great for the licensed producers either. It's great for the consumer, but it's not great for money. But it was never meant to be an industry. It was always put behind glass for public health and safety. So it was being tested and not being laced with fentanyl and killing people. Not that cannabis has ever killed anybody in the history of the world, ever, unless you got a kilogram dumped on your head. But drug reform should stretch farther. It should be incumbents to all. And the CDSA should be, taken off. There should be no legislations. I guess if you're legally selling it, if you're legally, giving it, and if it's toxic, then yes, there should be crimes against all of it. But this was legalized and it's become not a commodity. There aren't gangs fighting over turf wars for a cannabis plant anymore. Well, there might be in other countries, and there might be some there might still be. I just don't hear about it, I guess, as often. You don't hear about great big huge busts, and it's not taking up police resources. So give the police something to do other than fucking chase drug dealers and drug addicts. How about that our crime rates have our crime rates have gone up. But you know what they've gone up in? Sexual assaults and fucking domestic violence. Isn't that swell? So that means that we've got a bunch of penis swinging bullies, I guess, but that our women are actually starting to stand up and actually report. So maybe it's not anymore. Maybe women are getting backbones and reporting. And yeah, and that could be it too. I'm not a stats, expert on it by anything. I'm not an expert on anything but this. But I do know, that could be a possibility. Maybe it's a fact that women are actually reporting. Or everybody's reporting. I can't just say, but domestic violence goes both ways. I'm not saying it doesn't, because we do know that there are men that are abused too. I'm not saying it's all one-sided, because it's definitely not. I never want to put that in anybody's mouth. God. And I'm not a feminist either. I'm not. There's a difference, and I'm not a feminist. I believe in equal rights for everybody. Equal rights, period. You want human rights and you want, you know, autonomy and you want everything, but you want to have rights for everybody, equality, not just some good for some and not for everyone. And that's the way it should be worldwide. We should always have like that ability. But what's going on these days? It gives me a brain tumor. I did ask Melissa to come on my show this morning, but I don't know if she saw my message. She might have seen my message now. We were just going to chat because she's got some good ideas happening and what she was going to do. And I don't want to tell her story for her. I want to have her on. Yeah, black. Okay, I'm not going to look at that. Okay, this is not. That's not her answering me back. It was something she sent me. Turnkey cannabis cultivation. What is this? Things for sale. North of Smoky 2. Oh, another turnkey setup. And this is not the Tenanga. On the Tenanga. This is not Legacy 420. This is a turnkey business opportunity. THCEA Marine Drive. So this is out in Nova Scotia. So it looks like a grow. I'm trying to see this, what she sent me. 100,000. It's in Cape Breton turnkey territory. So it's a turnkey, $100,000. That's it. Turnkey set up all climate controlled irrigation, automation systems, and furnishings are all installed ready to use. Top of the line 1,000-watt LED grow lights. Entire facility equipped with high efficiency, full spectrum, 100,000-watt LED spectrums. Assistance with cannabis licensing will work directly with cannabis regulatory industry to assist you in obtaining a new standard cannabis license under your name, ensuring full compliance with industrial regulations. Hassle-free ownership transfer. Sale price covers lease costs during licensing approval, includes all legal and corporate registration fees, no hidden costs. 0% financial availability. We offer zero financing up to 5 years, making it easier for you to launch. Is this a scam? Or is this real? Because if this is real, I'm out. I will sell my house and go buy this place. Well, maybe not. I don't think I can get the cannabis licensing, but I know that I know somebody who can. My God, what am I looking for? A Kleenex because my nose is running and I don't know if I've got one. Keep it methotrexate. Let me tell you, that is the crappiest shit ever. You know, that shit that I take is so fucking toxic that I can't even get a health nurse to come and inject it into me because I'd have to wear a hazmat suit to keep my immune system from. Yeah. Isn't that swell? I don't even know what to say about that. Why can't I find the Kleenex? My nose is always running and I can't get up because I'm not wearing any pants. I've got a long shirt on, but I mean, I'm not going to subject anybody to, see my butt cheeks. Ugh. Oh, there's one. Okay. I knew I had one somewhere. But, yeah, nobody wants to see my butt cheeks. But again, this is, yeah. So I guess there's a number and stuff here. But my friend Melissa sent me this. It's on Facebook. It's in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. And she's on the Cape right now. Things for sale north of Smoky 2. That's absolutely craziness. $100,000. That's it. I mean, that's a lot of money. But $100,000 to get into a turnkey licensed production site. I wish I had $100,000 just laying around. I really do. Hey, anybody out there, if you got $100,000, there's a place for sale in Cape Breton. So this is how you get through a day 2. I don't even need to do that. I got a paper already ready. See, there are some things that I buy out of my own pocket that go into the making candies and stuff. And I actually have to head out to Dirty Darts. So that kind of stuff, I can do what I want with when I buy it myself. And yes, I do. I put a lot of my own money, even though I'm not supposed to. Like I'm supposed to be like zero pocket, right? But again, I've got, I've got to make candies. So if you got to make candy, you have to have that stuff. And sometimes it's not in the budget for the program, and sometimes I need it for myself. So I just, yeah. And I do, like I said, I make candy. A lot of that's, my time, my sugar, my corn syrup, all stuff that I pay for. And I use it and I make candies with it. And then all the money that I make from the candies goes into the program, right? Like, so, and I don't even take the money, I just trade it. We just barter. It's like, here's the cash, and I'll take the cannabis and I will take it to somebody that needs it. Because, like I said, I'm now helping over 30, well, about 30 people off site. So, I don't know. I don't know if I should just keep it that way or keep going out. But if I keep it just to offsite, then I don't have to worry about gathering toques and mitts and that kind of thing. And that being said, in toiletries, they've got like the houseless here in town have street angels, and they have the travel lodge, and they have the soup kitchens, and the churches give them free breakfast every morning. And there's lots of resources in town for toques and mitts and socks and the things that we gather in toiletries. Like I know that there are some of them out at the park there that always need that kind of stuff, because a lot of times they don't get to leave that site because they don't want to leave that site. Now, one of those people that were on the site has actually they've opened a program in my town that now has day pay. So if you can go and work for a day, they'll pay you hourly to work at the food bank or go work at, I'm not sure what other businesses that have started up, but they're doing day pay. So at the end of the day, you get paid cash. And that really helps houseless people, because a lot of times they don't have the money to even eat with, right? So if you can pay them cash at the end of the day, then they can go and they can actually buy the things they need, and then they can save some money if they choose to. Now, it's not enough money probably that's going to affect their or their PWD or their assisted allowance that they get to live on. But again, if you're living rough out there, every little bit helps. But like I said, they can't leave because they're worried about theft and people stealing their stuff, and that happens. Like I had one of them at one time. She had to go to the hospital for a week. She come back and all of her stuff was gone. And living up there, you'd think that your neighbor would leave your stuff home, but they don't, because that's what the addiction does to people. You'll be stealing from your best friend. And I hate to say that, but that's how addiction works. And it's not a fault of the person that's using. It's just something that kind of seems to go hand in hand with it. And I don't understand why. It seems to bring you the best of the worst out of people. So if you're a really nice person, sometimes it makes you even nicer and you get taken advantage of. It. That's the people that get their shit stolen. And then if you're a real ass, then you just become a bigger ass and you're the guy stealing your friend's stuff. It just seems to be a weird thing that happens, and I don't know why. And it was like that when I was, I was never on the street per se, but it was like that when I was using too. I'd have, people that I knew that I thought were my friends were stealing my shit right out from underneath my nose. Right. Anyways, that's yeah, that was a different lifetime ago. But again, I don't. It's caused me PTSD. It causes me grief some days, but most days not. But that was the reason that spurs me to keep helping other people, and why I make candy and why I make chocolates and why I give it away, and why I ask for help from other people that can afford to help me, that I can help other people that can't afford to help themselves, right? And a lot of times I can't afford to help myself either, but I just keep on, you never give up. And that's why I told my husband, we were having this conversation yesterday about, how we struggle and stuff. And I said, yeah, but we got a teenager, first and foremost. And secondly, like, that's just life. We all got to pay our bills. We all got to kind of keep on moving forward, but we never give up, and we've never given up. Like, there's been lots of times that I felt like I wanted to. There's been lots of times when I didn't have any meds and it was like, just looking so desperately like dismal, and but I never gave up. Something good always seems to turn the corner. And you have to remember that nothing lasts forever, right? Even the doom and gloom that you're feeling doesn't last forever, right? And let's face it, cannabis always makes it a little bit better. Like I often say, this stuff keeps me from not being in jail for maybe homicide, maybe not. Salt, I don't know, because I've got a pretty good Scottish temper on me. Just saying, it must be hereditary. That could be from years of abuse too. Like, you get that rage, and I've got attention deficit, and along with that comes rage, which I wasn't aware of until I was actually diagnosed and started working on that part of me. But again, this has helped. This helped me stay sober. This has helped me look for the help that I needed for my PTSD. Um, I don't know, like I said, we were talking about the fact that the Ukrainians used this when they had family come here because it helped calm everybody. And that's how I've always felt about, like cannabis is like could heal the world if everybody would just smoke one and relax, right? And I think a lot of times that our politicians that think it's the devil's lettuce should do peckerheads every day. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Kate. Yeah, I just got the comments popped up. Yeah, peckerheads every day. Yeah, I know. And they go, I think, like I said, that's why I give away so much weed because I think if the people have it, they're not going to be peckerheads. And I honestly believe that. Like, if we can just feed everybody that's so skeptical a little bit of cannabis, even if you slip it in with a candy or something else, and it's like, oh, I feel so much calmer. What happened there? Like, feed them a CBD cap. Oh, I can sleep. Oh, like, but just like we've got this divide, the divide has always been there. Like, we found that when we started doing cannabis activism, I did in 2006. There are some people's minds that are so set and their blinders are on. It don't matter what evidence you give them, receipts, studies, they will always see it their way. And we still have people that don't like the fact that cannabis is legal, which floors me. But I guess if they saw the money flowing into their municipalities and the municipalities were doing good things with it, they might see it. And that's why I keep asking, go to your city councils, telling people, talk to your MPs, talk to your MLAs, talk to your city council and ask them, where the fuck's the money? Because we have a housing crisis, we have all these things, yet we've got billions of dollars going into provincial coffers. Because why? The feds aren't taking your money, your cannabis cash. Sorry, it is not going into the Liberals' coffer or whatever the fuck you want to think. It was kicked back to the provinces, so your premiers are getting all the cash. BC has a 20% vape tax on all vapes, including tobacco, right? So where's that 20% tax? Where are our property taxes always going up every year? If the municipalities are getting $11.5 million a year for the last 6 years, let's do some calculations on that. I was going to do that yesterday because I was thinking, well, that's 66 million, but then you add the 0.5 to it. So what is that in actuality? So we're going to actually look and see. So cannabis has been legal since what, 2017? I think. I'm pretty sure that's the year we got it legal. So we're going to go calculator. Calculator. So 2016 to 2016 was just 2007. So it'll be 9 years. No, hang on. Okay, it's 2015. I'm sorry, my brain and math. Yeah. My brain and math. I just want to get some perfect dates here. Bill is ascended 2018. As of January 2019, cannabis is available. So from 2019. So it started 2016, 2017. The Senate was passed. It took till 2018 for the Senate to put royal assent on it. And by January of 2019, cannabis was legal. So from 2019 to 2025, that's 5 years. 5 years of taxation. Okay, so we got 11.5 million, 11.5 times 5, because that's what your municipalities would be getting, right? 11.5, I believe, is what the last statistics on how much cannabis taxation each municipality that opted into having cannabis stores in a municipality should be getting. That's 57.5 million fucking dollars added to your city's coffers that they should have gotten a transfer from the provincial government for. So if they haven't gotten that, and they have, where the fuck is the money? That's almost 60 million. No, we're not talking 60,000. We're talking 60 million fucking dollars into my little 20,000 population's little town. And my property taxes just went up by another $70 a month. or $30 a month. It's $170 a month for my property taxes. On the offset that my family's been paying property taxes on this property since 1951. And on that note, we have to thank our sponsors and take a quick break. But do the math on that. 1951. All right, so we are going to take a quick break. I got to find a commercial. Where are all the commercials? Oh, there we go.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor. If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
Cannabis edibles are an effective way to manage pain and other ailments, especially when you deal with your trusted partner, Legacy 420, in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. You see, we lab test every product on site to ensure proper dosage every time, which is critical when consuming cannabis edibles. All Legacy 420 edibles are made by our classically trained baker and chocolatier, and we also have super tasty vegan options.
Our baker has been in the industry for 25 years. She's also a chocolatier. Everything from savory to sweet, your chocolate bars, brownies, butter tarts, you name it, we make it.
Talk to our knowledgeable Cannatex about our incredible variety available. Give your trusted partners a call. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much again to our sponsors. We couldn't do this without them, and we appreciate all their support and yours for watching and liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is something we need to build because we need to keep building, and that's the way we keep networking and sharing education across the world. And we enjoy doing that. We've been doing this now for 10 years. And it's something that we all continue to do because we love cannabis and we love people and we want to make sure that you're all getting correct information. And you can always Yeah, tapping and clapping, right? On the other app that TikTok. Yeah, it's funny because I wish I could like run this with TikTok and because it's already running on YouTube and everywhere else. But TikTok does not like cannabis. And I get that because it's not legal all over the world. It is here, and it's in Germany. It's legal now. We've got medical cannabis pretty much. And pretty much I'd say 40% of the states in the US. But again, who knows how that's all gonna change with the orange potato. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to secure some money. I hate doing that, but I have to do something today. But anyways, that's just the way things are sitting right now. And with cannabis too, like I said, with it being legal in Canada and not all over the world. And I mean, we were the first G7 country to actually bring cannabis to be legal, but we're not the first country to do it. Uruguay, I think. But it's like Spain, even like it's really opening up because I think the taxation portion of it, yeah, no, you can use the word MJ, and that's about it. And then, if not, then they will block you. It was funny because they had a filter on there with, leaves and everything, pot leaves and everything. And the next thing you know, I did a duet or whatever with it, and then I got that video banned, and I'm like, the fuck, like seriously. Uh, yeah. So again, like, it's just like, wow, I can't believe that they're so restrictive, right? And but again, depends on what you post on Facebook. I was in Facebook jail for posting a candy. Like, but because it was a pot leaf, apparently that was offensive. Yeah, they don't do fact checking it. They're gonna ban my like really? I think that's what you said I could have. Okay, so dealing with a bot on here. Mm, okay, perfect. Okay, because my husband's coming home, right? So, long story short, he needs some stuff where he's got to go for a colonoscopy, and my bank account's laughing at me. So I had to come up with some way of general, and I've got a line of credits, but I've paid some of it off, so I was able to access some of that. So I can go pick up his medicine and go pick up Taven's prescription that's sitting at the hospital at the same time. Anyways, what is this guy doing kind of thing? Yeah. Most frustrating part, things are there to be used and we get dinged for them. I know, right? Like, what the hell is that? Like, I don't get that either. Like, but again, we've been doing this we found other ways of getting around all that. Like, we've been doing these shows now for 10 years, right? Like, we've got Pace Radio Network, we've got the 420, and I actually started on the 420 network with El Rap. It was a brainstorm I came up with. I can't even remember how we were doing it, what, but then one of my friends, Ross, he sent me an outline of a logo, and I went, yeah, let's do this. So we started Cannabis and Coffee with Tamarijuana. I think it was in 2013. I'd have to go back and absolutely look, but I think it was 2013. Maybe it was 2012. I think I was living here though, so it would have been 2014. Maybe even later than that. Maybe it was 2015. But I mean, it's just been an incredible experience. And the unfortunate thing is we had an event in Toronto that's been postponed till October. But I was going to go to Toronto in March, and I haven't been out east in 10 years. And I was looking forward to meeting some people in the retail market and the licensed production market. So I get some more guests coming onto the show because I like having a guest to wrap around with. It's nice that you're here so I can chat back to somebody on the chat, because I sitting here talking to myself all the time. Who wants to watch that? Even on the talk, you can get a panel coming up. That's why I like to have a guest so we can go back and forth. A lot of time, my guests are other patients that give their life experience too, right? And speak about what and how cannabis helps them. So, yeah. I know lots of people that even have to ration their pharma meds. And I really find that disturbing, why it's so important that we get a pharma program for everything, like not just for insulin. I mean, but there are people with diabetes that have to ration their insulin, which is, ugh. I had a friend that died of diabetes complications, and I hope to God that that was not one of the reasons, because she had to ration her diabetic insulin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll never know. We know that it was diabetes complications, but she was young. She was in her 40s. Like, and yeah, it's heartbreaking to think about that. And I like to, Tracy Curley, and her and I were like too similar, so we butted heads lots. Right? She was like, we were both like this all the time. We like to fight with each other, I guess. And but we had, long story short, we made up, and then I just talked to her, like, I don't know, a week or two before that, and then I got a message that she had passed away, and I was just like, you're fucking kidding me. But so for people to have to ration any kind of meds, whether it's cannabis, whether it's insulin, whether it's anything, is an atrocity in a country as rich as ours, especially when I say that they're bringing in $2.8 billion a year for cannabis taxation. That's just cannabis. And that's the provinces, folks, not the feds. Let's make that very clear. It was pushed back to the provinces. Same with your liquor and your tobacco. So they're getting taxes off your cannabis, they're getting taxes off your liquor, they're getting taxes off your lottery, they're getting taxes off your your PST on other things, and then they're charging us property. So, and I understand that we have to pay taxes. Infrastructure is expensive. Like the contract for our maintenance contractors, $22 million alone, but that's over a 5-year period or 7-year period, right? So they're not getting $22 million a year. They're getting $22 million over a period, right? So the road maintenance for just this area is $22 million over 5 years within a budget, right? But the municipalities brought in $60 million fucking dollars in the last 5 years from cannabis alone. So $60 million for a population of 20,000 fucking people. Why are our pipes bursting there, Pratt? I ain't gonna fucking blame Price. I'm not. He just got here. He's been in office for a fucking year. I'm not blaming the new council. But there are incumbents that have been sitting on that council for a fucking long time. So I'm not, and an ex-mayor that's sitting on city council. So you could be looking at him. So you want to ask, you know who to go to if you're local. Wayne Stetsky. Ask him, why are our pipes all bursting? And they didn't have that though. Let's be fair, when Stetsky was in office. But when Pratt was in office, for the last 5 fucking years, they've been getting they've gotten 11.5 million, $60 million fucking dollars. Where's the fucking money? Yeah. Right? Well, that's the thing. And we live in a social democracy where the money, like, and I'm not talking socialism. We do not live in socialism. I don't expect to be handed everything on a silver fucking platter. I don't. But when they're taking the people's money to pay for social programs and all the infrastructure that we've got, and they're also generating money by investment, and they're generating money by taxing us in other certain ways, because we also pay provincial, like, income tax, right? So when you do your income taxes, a certain portion of your income tax is also going to the fucking provincial government. And the provincial governments are the ones that take care of our education and our healthcare and our housing and all these things. It's not the feds. The feds fucking pass the money over and regulate what we're fucking supposed to do. They're in charge of like national parks and some things that are national and our CPP and our unemployment and those kind of things. But they're not in control of our fucking basic fucking human needs. Our provincial legislations are. So again, taxation. And I get it. But the money shouldn't be going into law enforcement and preventative for addiction for cannabis. What? But I don't see a bunch of rehab centers being set up for cannabis addiction, but yet they say, and then they're putting it into enforcement about these community safety units that are going in and stealing meds from compassion clubs that are trying to support the patients that were left behind from the Cannabis Act. So I don't know what it's going to take to push harder, but we have to change things provincially within their cannabis acts, because the federal cannabis act is one big act that was then kicked back to the provinces where they were able to legislate and do things differently. Just like in British Columbia, the legislation is written so that even First Nations aren't considered sovereign, and they can't have their own, like they can go in and they busted dispensaries on sovereign land. They don't get them mixed up. They're willfully fucking ignorant. And when you tell them, they go, "Ugh," because they're willfully ignorant. They don't want to hear it. They've got it stuck in their head on a one-way track like a hamster wheel going, fuck Trudeau, fuck Trudeau, fuck Trudeau, fuck Trudeau, fuck Trudeau, fuck Trudeau, all in their heads. And now that he's resigned, they've got no identity and all running around like a bunch of fucking like Squid Games. Trying to bash each other, bash off each other, trying to fucking put their brain cells together so they can have a fucking original thought. Did I just say that out loud? I did. As the measles outbreaks all across Ontario, let's get them, rat lickers all put in one spot. Like, seriously. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like, meh. And remember, there is a disclosure that not everybody on this network will agree with me in my opinions. And that's okay. That's why we have freedom of expression in Canada. But again, cannabis is not going to cure your kids' measles. And there's a legislation you're not allowed to give your kid cannabis, 19 and under. So you can't rub them with cannabis cream, a topical, because you might, But again, that cannabis cream is not going to cure your kids' fucking measles. And I actually read that somewhere where somebody was putting fucking some THC or something in their child's ear because they were told that would cure their kids' fucking ear infection. It's not a cure-all. It is a therapeutic medical enhancement to help with all kinds of things. And I've got friends that do not use pharmaceuticals at all, and cannabis is the beat-all for them. But it's an individual thing in your body, and our DNA and our genetics are all different. But please do not stick THC cannabis tinctures in your child's fucking ear. Don't. Tincture, oil. In fact, a doctor tells you not to put anything in their fucking ears. Period. In fact, they don't even like giving you fucking antibiotics for your kid's ear infection. I had one. And they would wait till pus was running out of my kid's fucking ears before they'd give me antibiotics. And I was never going to stick a THC tincture in my child's fucking ear. In fact, I'll tell you why. I actually had a cannabis activist friend, okay? And I met her. She was part of Calgary 420. And I can speak about this publicly because it's all public record. Her son, her name is the same as mine, had a serious fucking infection. He was seriously ill. She was feeding that kid CBDs and fucking garlic oil and fucking herbal fucking remedies, to the point that child died. He was 7. She went to jail. But because of the half-cocked natural medicine scenario that people think that comes along with cannabis, don't ever do that. Take your child to a fucking doctor. And I'm a cannabis activist, and I'm all for that. And I tried everything before for my rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, even my doctor with my menopause told me to try primrose oil first. My doctor's not and this is my GP, not one that's going to shove fucking. She signed my medical marijuana licensing too. But when I went to renew it, she said, you can get 30 grams a day legally. Why do I want to sign you for 15? Right? But again, I'm all for whatever natural remedy that you think. But if your child has a fucking infection, salt water and oregano oil and THC fucking tincture is not gonna fucking help. So stop it. Take your child to a fucking doctor. Fuck. I was so mad when I read that or saw that or heard that or whatever. I think I took everything in me not to lose my shit, especially when I go back and I know what I know about my friend who lost her son, who she loved so much. And she was a single parent. All she ever wanted in her life was a child. She finally got one, but she lost him, and then she lost her own life and her own identity and her own ability to have any integrity within our community or anywhere else to fucking continue what she was doing. I've reached out to her a couple times and I've never heard back because you know what I mean? Like, but what a waste of two beautiful lives. She was a beautiful person, misguided for sure, maybe a little bit willfully ignorant because she really didn't want to hear about farm meds at all. We have lots of them in the community that call some of us that have to use pharma meds for our afflictions drug addicts. Not shitting you. The judgment and the disapproval as they look down their noses at you because you use pharma. Not shitting you. Yet we're all supposed to be peace, love, and hippies. When did that fucking stop? Again, I speak my mind. I'm always pretty damn blunt. But I'll always tell you the fucking truth. Just saying. And you know that about me because I've always been a blunt little. Oh, she's so hard to work with. No, I'm not. I'm just going to put up with your shit. And I'm going to fucking call you out on your lies. And I'm going to call you out on your fucking crap. I'm just not even sorry about it. And I did. And it's caused a lot of, issues for, me being called ignorant and rude. And no, maybe I am. But again, I'm not going to lie to you and I'm not going to fucking candy coat shit just so you can feel better about it. Or about yourself. If you have, those raw emotions about being that judgmental of somebody who smokes cannabis, then you should check your humanity. Again, there's so many people that, I honestly believe that because of the cannabis taxation and stuff, I think that the Liberals should be taking a victory lap on this, and why they're not, I don't understand. Because this has been a successful, there's been a lot of regulations. I know a lot of the cannabis businesses have lost money, but again, it was never meant to go on the stock market. That was not the beat-all, right? Like the beat-all was public health and safety and get off the streets and away from our fucking kids. It wasn't about making you rich. And Trudeau will tell you that straight to your fucking face. Oh, sorry, you didn't make $1 billion on the green rush. You lost your shirt and canopy growth went tits up. Oh, because it wasn't meant to be an industry. That's what Stephen Harper wanted. He wanted to make patients not be able to grow their own so that he could make his fat friends fatter. It didn't go so well because we took him to court. Right? And then this crap they were sending us from Flin Flon, are you fucking kidding me? Patients access before was like ground up fucking stems, roots, and fucking who knows what the fuck, dirt from Flin Flon, Manitoba. Prairie Plant System was the first licensed producer. They were the shittiest one because cannabis legalization for recreational was 2019-ish, right? Whatever, January 2019. But cannabis for cannabis patients has been legal since 2000 because other patients went to court and it cost them money, millions of dollars. And yeah. Oh, have I not shown you my shirt? I don't even know where my shirt is. I tucked it away. I have a Fuck Harper shirt. We made them. Well, I didn't make them, but we had a group of us and my friends from Vancouver, and we all had Fuck Harper shirts. I was gonna send it to Nitty, but she's never gotten back to me on her address or anything. She never even responded. So whatever. Fuck Nitty, I guess. I'll keep the shirt. It's my husband's anyways. I'm keeping mine. I will actually probably end up one day getting that framed and hanging it on my wall. The money we wasted on fucking politics and, cannabis activism and, travel and, but it was all worth it because the networking and the people that I know, the friendships that I made from cannabis activism are priceless. There's never a day that I regret 1 minute of what I did. Maybe getting arrested. I do regret that. because I hadn't gotten arrested for cannabis or any drugs or anything. Well, I had a little incident with cocaine, but I hadn't gotten possession charges or anything. And I was 35 when I got my first weed charge. And then I got caught, mailing out some to another patient, and I talked to pardons. I can't even get a pardon because it's in print. And the internet's forever, and so is that fucking article. All I do is Google up my name, and there it all is in bright fucking, and they can't scrub the internet, apparently. So that fucks me for the rest of my life. Well, it doesn't really, but it might. Well, I'm glad that you voted, and I hope that you vote again, because that's what we need. We need to see the numbers for voting up. Because again, I sit and bitch about my own little town. We have a population 20,000, 4,500 people voted. 4,500 people at a population 20,000 voted, and yet they're all sitting on their keyboards and bitching, but they couldn't get their ass to the fucking junior high school up the fucking hill to fucking put an X on a fucking box and put it into a box. That's pretty hard work to ask of anybody. Oh, and open your brain for a minute, maybe understand what the fuck's going on. Harper was fucking horrible. He fucking signed us away to China, and then they want to sit there and go, oh, Trudeau loves China. Fuck, we had pandas in Canada, for fuck's sakes, because Harper had his head so far up she's ass. Does everybody forget that? And the fake lake that he made, and all the fucking millions of dollars that went missing that he could never recover. I think it was $13 million. He signed the dotted line for SNCs for their fucking goddamn contracts. And then he tried taking away our gardens and giving his fat friends, all these licensed producers like Tilroy and fucking Aurora and fucking Tweed. And then they wanted to blame JT for Tweed being connected to the Liberal Party. Shut the fuck up. There's a new set of, depending on what province you're in, because there's a federal or a provincial election in Ontario. It's called it's on vote.ch. I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. Anyways, if you're in Ontario, today's the day that you can vote, pre-vote. But yeah, I'll have to look it up. Maybe I will look it up right now because it's JB's. But it's important that people in Ontario vote because it's coming up. We had a vote in Saskatchewan. Unfortunately, they voted for fucking Scott Mulligan. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them, but they did. But again, that's the Saskatchewan party, which is separate from the Conservatives too. It's kind of like the Wild Rose, like Danielle Smith had. But Scott Mulligan is called the Saskatchewan party. It's not NDP. It's not Liberal. It's all their own entity, which, again, we have 110 parties in Canada. It's not like we only have 5. We have 5 that gain seats. JB's app. Yes, JB's app. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Kate. JB's app. And he's a good one to follow on talk. But it's an app. Maybe you'll come up with it first. Yeah, well. But these idiots will vote for him again. And that's the thing. Like, we hold a bale of hay around Lethbridge for a whole federal election. And the candidate Conservative didn't even show up, and he won. So our point was the bale of hay with a blue shirt and a Conservative badge on would win even if they didn't have a candidate. We only got 2 minutes left, so I want to find that app. Where's your app, JD? Come on, JB. Where is it?
The collapse of the Conservative Party of Canada in the federal polling is going to be something.
Okay, we don't want to watch that one, but yeah, that's funny too. JB's out of Ontario. I just want to find what the name of that damn app is. It should be on some of his video in Ontario, so people know. Why can't I find it? Why can't it just be there, JB? Anyways, if you follow JB on TikTok, it's smartvoting.ca. There we go. I didn't see it. It just kind of came to me. Smartvoting.ca for your Ontario elections. And it's a breakdown of strategic voting, anybody but the C. on that note, again, we are going to wrap the show up. It was really nice and it was joy having you here, Kate. Maybe next time you can. I got to figure out a way that I can bring guests up on this thing like the talk does. I think I just have to send you a link and then you can probably pop in. I think I can do it that way. I will have to figure that out because that would be cool if I could bring guests on or bring people up like a panel. That'd be awesome. I got to figure that out for next week. Maybe I'll do that. So again, I'd like to thank our sponsors. And on that note, I got to get out of here because if I don't, I'm going to be running over time and in trouble. So thanks to our sponsors, thanks to you, and thanks for coming today, folks. I'll see you Wednesday night on the Pace Radio Network with Pace People Educating Cannabis Education, the Pace Show. You have a good afternoon. Take care.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.